in her personal life. She had no problem with approaching people, and that's usually how she became friends. And you know what? That's how she made most of her friends. So if you knew her and she approached you and talked to you, you instantly became her friend. And she stayed your friend. And she was always there for you. And because we connected on writing, working for my department, I decided, hey, you need to be one of the leaders for the Police Unity Ride, which we do every year. And we do in honor of officers that were killed in the line of duty the year previous. And what we did, we raised, sometimes it was $1 million, but it was not just our department, it was departments around the world and department around the United States. We raised money, and we met the families. They came to Washington, D.C., and they were so grateful for us being there and meeting them and showing their loved ones respect. In fact, she went so far as to do research. She researched. Not only did she want the bio of what the officers that she rode for, but she wanted more background, so she contacted their family. And she wanted to, and she made sure that she met the family when we got there and said how important they were and what she had done and what she was doing for them. She was able to do that 1 year, and then when she was diagnosed, so she caught the disease that she caught, that they caught was late stage. It was stage 3. It had already gone through the lymph nodes, but we were positive. We stayed positive. We went through the chemo. We came back and forth from where we live in Oceanside to here. Every time on the way home, she would be sick and throwing up, but then she would smile. She said, okay, we're almost home, right? I said, yes, one more day down. And then the whole regimen of radiation, and the radiation had to go over her stomach, so again, she's very prone to being sick. So she was even more sick than she was on chemo. But you know, he always smiled. She was always upbeat. And together with her family and her friends that were always so supportive, we kept hope. And we kept hoping. And in the next year, we rode Unity again. And you know what? Not only did she ride Unity, she was in the front of the pack. You know, there were 200 to 2,000 people that rode. She was in the front. We always asked, do you want to come and ride with us in the middle? She's like, no, I want to be in the front. I said, okay, that's cool, you know. And you know why that was? Because she was smiling and she was waving at everybody who was standing out and waving back at her. All the little kids, the families. She wanted to make sure that they saw her and that they saw us and that she recognized that they were out there for her. I won't lie, when we were next diagnosed with stage 4, that following December, Valerie's first words to the doctor were, "Are you kidding? I feel great." And he said, I wouldn't kid about something like this. And she's like, no. And this is after sitting in the emergency room all day. But when I came back with a vengeance. It had invaded her entire body. It was in her bones, her lungs. And they gave her 6 months to live. Do you know that didn't stop her? It didn't stop us. We tried everything we possibly could. We went to different We went to the Cancer Treatment of America after doing the chemo radiation here that clearly didn't work. We tried holistic. And then she came up with this great idea about healing rocks. So if you know her, she has a meditation room. She's about 30 rocks, and she would carry them in her pockets. And sometimes she would leave them on the couch, so if you sat down, you would sit on a rock. That's okay, because if it touched you, that meant that it was good, that it was all healing. She was a realist, however, and I was in denial for a while. I always had that hope, even to the last minute. Even when she was saying, when I die, honey, when I die. And I said, no, no. The weekend before she died, we gathered and we sang to her. We talked to her, we included her in stories, because they say that the hearing is the last to go. She wasn't coherent. And you know, she at times tracked us. She tracked us with her eyes. So she knew what we were saying, and she would grunt every once in a while, because that was the only way she could communicate at that point. We didn't leave her side the whole weekend until one time when everybody had to go get something to drink or take a shower or use a bathroom or something like that. She decided to pass. I believe that she didn't want us to see her take her last breath. And I know that she went peacefully. And she's out of pain. That's the most important thing, because she was in so much pain. But she would say, I would ask, are you in pain? Yes. Why didn't you tell me? She said, because that's what I said yesterday. I didn't want to keep telling you. I didn't want to be a broken record, because I'm always in pain. People talk about how she talked to people and how she gathered people and lifted them up. I have a quick story to tell you, and this is Valerie. She was in a grocery store, and she's standing in line, and there were two people before her, and the checker seemed to be in a really bad mood. And she was kind of rude to people ahead of her, and they were just kind of like, somehow, you know, something's wrong with her, so we'll be rude back, you know? Not Valerie. When she got up there, she said, how are you doing today? And she just kind of grunted and said, no. I have this, I'm tired. Valerie said, I have cancer. And the lady looked at her, she said, you do? She goes, I have cancer too. And she came around and she gave Valerie a hug. And what it was she was worried about, she had an appointment to check to see if she had a reoccurrence. And she was so worried that her emotions were everywhere while she was working. She was able to embrace Valerie and say, you know what? There's somebody with cancer that's been through this. Thank you so much. And it turned her completely around. So you never know what people what they struggle through. I found a song, and I'm not a country person, but it's a country song. And, but it kind of embodies what I want to say. It's funny how the good ones go too soon, but the good Lord knows the reason why, I guess. Sometimes a greater plan is kind of hard to understand, but right now, it just doesn't make sense. I can't make sense. So I'm going to sit right here on the edge of the pier and drink a beer. And that would be me, actually. I'm the beer person. So until we meet again, my precious wife, whom I'm so honored to be married to, where I'll meet you in heaven, where you'll be waiting. I cherish our time together. Our time together was short, very short. In closing, I want to honor Valerie in her life by challenging all of you to carry a little bit of Valerie with you. And it's really simple. By smiling more often than not, because everybody knows her big, infectious smile. I think I caught her sleeping and she was smiling one time. She claimed she was asleep. I don't know. But by being a friend that she was always to you, be a friend to someone else. Be there. Be there for them. Give your love, your time, and your attention. And the biggest thing, give love unconditionally. Because that's what she did. She loved everybody. And you knew it. So goodbye. Goodbye, my sweet Valerie. And thank you.